Hi students, for today's lesson, we're going to work on sensory words. So this is on slide 7 in our Springboard Unit 1 Personal Narrative Writing Resources slideshow. What is imagery? Imagery is when an author uses words to create a picture in their readers' heads. Authors use what is called sensory language to help create these pictures or images. So what is sensory language? Sensory language is the use of words that appeal to the senses. There are 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. For example, the salty sauce tickled Isaac's tongue as he bit into the noodles. The word salty helps the reader to experience what the character is tasting. Here are some examples. Here are some examples of sensory words. For touch, bumpy, rough, smooth, sticky, gritty, slimy, fluffy. Hearing, tinkling, squeaky, thundering, thumping, shrill, thudding. Sight, emerald, misty, shiny, shadowy, dim, bright, smudged. Taste, salty, bitter, sugary, tangy, spicy, peppery, lemony. Smell, rotten, perfumed, odorless, musty, stale, fragrant, and woodsy. On our next slide, it says, we're going to do some practice together. So it says, set 1, read each sentence. 2, identify the sensory language. 3, finally, write which sense the word appeals to. So I'm going to skip down and go to slide 11. Okay, so we're going to start on the left-hand side with the sentence. So, sentence A, Max plopped onto the couch. Now on the right-hand side, for sentence A, Max plopped into the couch, the sensory word that was used there is plopped, and the sense that it appealed to is hearing, because you can, through this sentence, you can kind of hear him landing on the couch, right? Plopping himself down on the couch. Sentence B, the ketchup squirted out of the bottle. And so the sensory word in sentence B is squirted. And the sense that it appeals to is hearing. Sentence C, the cat brushed against my leg. So the sensory word there is brushed. And the sense would be touch. And D, the minty aroma of the gum wafted up to my nose. So minty. Minty is the sensory word, and the sense is smell. Sentence E, the rough surface of the cave wall scratched his skin. And there's 2 sensory words here, rough and scratched. And they both appeal to the sense of touch. F, the shiny silver coin reflected the sunlight. Again, we have 2 sensory words here, shiny and silver, and they appeal to the sense of sight. G, the dark gray clouds promised rain. Again, 2 sensory words, dark and gray. And it's something that you could see, appeals to your sense of sight. And last, H, he chewed on the salty jerky. So the sensory word here is salty, and the sense that it appeals to is the sense of taste. Okay, we're going to do another set of cards together. So for this set, number 1, you're going to read each sentence. Number 2, identify the sensory language again. And 3, choose the choice that best answers the question and write the letter on your recording sheet. So, okay, so let's read the sentence and let's see what question is attached to the sentence. So here's the here's the sentence that uses sensory words. The chimes tinkled cheerfully in the light breeze. The question is asking, the author uses the sensory language in the sentence above to, one, is it to help the reader see how the light is hitting the chimes? Or two, emphasize to the reader that the chimes are happy? Or three, highlight for the reader that it is a nice day outside? So, on the right-hand side in the imagery recording box, I'm sorry, we should have identified the sensory words first. But the sensory words in that sentence, tinkling and light, and the best choice for our answer would be 3. It's highlighting for the reader that it is a nice day outside. Okay, let's do example B. After a long day working in the dusty fields, his skin felt gritty. So the sensory words here, there's 2, dusty and gritty. Let's look at the question here. The author uses the sensory words above to help the reader understand 1, the appearance of the field, 2, that the character feels dirty, or 3, how the character is grumpy. Now, the best choice would be number 2. And let's read it again. After a long day working in the dusty fields, his skin felt gritty. So the best choice is answer choice 2, that the character feels dirty. And that's what the author wants us to understand about how the character is feeling. Okay, let's try C. So in example C, it reads, the yellowing pages had smudged print. It made it difficult for Sam to read it. So let's first identify the sensory words. It's yellowing and smudged. And let's see what is the question here. Which words illustrate that the paper is old? Okay, and it's is it yellowing and smudging, yellowing and smudged, or yellowing and difficult, or pages and difficult? And the answer choice is 1, right? Smudged kind of gives you the feeling that it could be old, as most especially yellowing, right? Gives you the feeling that it's old. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to go to your assignment slideshow, and you're going to go to slide number 3, and the directions for this says read each sentence, identify the sensory language, finally write which sense the word appeals to. So you're going to do the same thing that we did in our first task card on the resources slide. Okay, so you're going to read A. As soon as we walked in the door, we caught a whiff of cinnamon. So which word in this sentence, in sentence A, is a sensory word, and what sense does it appeal to? And you're going to write it in this column right here. Okay, sensory word that it appeals to, that you can find in sentence A, sensory word that you see in sentence A, and the sense that it appeals to in this column here. Okay, so you're going to do that for all of these examples here, A through H. Then you're going to go to slide number 4, and you're going to do what we did in our second task cards in our resources slide. It says, read each sentence, identify the sensory language, choose the choice that best answers the question, and write the number on your recording sheet. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to read the sample sentence here, sentence A, Lily's bedroom. Then you're going to identify the sensory words in that sentence, in sentence A in this column right here. Then you're going to read the question here. The author uses sensory words to show that the main character, and you need to decide, is it 1, 2, or 3? and put your answer choice. Oops. Your answer choice goes in this column right here. Okay, so you're going to do that for sentence B, C, and, oh, B and C. Nope, and D. Where's D? Okay, there's no D, so I will take away this column right here. Okay, and that's it. Thank you very much, students. Bye-bye.